Welcome to Future Consideration, SB Nation's NFL Draft Show. I'm joined by Dan Rubenstein. He watches college football.
This is true. That is Matt Ufford. He is our pro guy.
Let's get into this week's mock draft from SB Nation's Mocking the Draft.
Yeah.
Number 1, trading up, the Atlanta Falcons, taking that top pick to get Jadeveon Clowney. I like it.
Love this a lot. Obviously, we've been talking about the Falcons' need at pass rusher. Jadeveon Clowney, the clear #1 defensive end in this draft. Inside, playing in the South, no-brainer.
And I kind of like just having the best player go first overall. That's nice.
Like that too. Value, value, value. Number 2, Greg Robinson to the Rams. I think if he's not the best offensive tackle in this draft, he could be arguably the best offensive tackle.
Makes a ton of sense. The NFC West has a lot of pressure coming from front sevens.
Yep.
Invest in a line. Makes perfect sense to me.
Absolutely. The Jaguars with Khalil Mack, higher than we've seen in these mock drafts so far. But if the Jags aren't in love with the quarterback, by all means, build around that defense. We've talked a lot about Gus Bradley building that defense and being a better defense than people knew the second half of the season.
I like the notion of the Jaguars being a fearsome defensive team if they don't have a quarterback in the draft that they want to get. Sure.
Build the best possible team. Sammy Watkins to Cleveland. I think the value is clear that he is the best receiver in this draft. But Cleveland at 4 with already perhaps a top 3 receiver in the league. Do you like it there?
I find it strange, or at least hard to believe, that both Jacksonville and Cleveland, direly in need of a quarterback, would both say, nah, these guys don't do it for us.
Yeah, unless they're in love with like Jimmy Garoppolo or Derek Carr and feel like they're going to get him. I'm in love with Derek Carr, I say.
Okay.
Sammy Watkins makes sense somewhere in there, but I don't think to Cleveland. Oakland, you love this pick. Johnny Manziel in silver and black.
It might be a terrible decision, but the culture of Oakland Raiders plus Johnny Manziel,
it gives you a reason to watch like that late October Oakland-San Diego game at like 4 Eastern. That's just like, why would you watch like, ooh, something weird could happen with Manziel.
Because there are fights going on in the upper deck about
Johnny Manziel
happening.
playing in an infield, a baseball infield. I like that. And Houston, obviously trading down with Atlanta, grabbing Bortles at 6. Obviously, they're getting a ton. If they're trading the #1 overall pick, they're getting Atlanta's pick, and they're getting a bunch of picks
Probably
below.
another second-round pick or next year's #1. Who knows?
So if they can grab what some people feel like is the best quarterback in the draft at 6 and then load up with picks,
I like it.
Feels like a win to me. Minnesota at 8 with Teddy Bridgewater.
This is the best deal the Vikings have gotten in several weeks of us reviewing these mock drafts. And
Mike Zimmer making his comments, not thrilled with Johnny Manziel. So if he has Teddy Bridgewater, who a lot of people, including us, feel is the best pure quarterback in this draft, and can grab him at 8.
Yeah, I find it a little bit hard to believe that he'd fall below both Manziel and Bortles all the way to number 8, but again, great shake for the Vikings here.
Teams value quarterbacks in different ways, and maybe he's just the fit for the Vikings. That would be an enormous, enormous win for the Vikings there.
Let's slide things down a little bit more.
Yes.
Coney Ealy to the Cowboys. I think this is great. We're talking maybe the best pass rusher after Clowney in the draft, going all the way down to the Cowboys, who we'll talk about a little bit later on the show. Enormous need for the Cowboys. Really everywhere on the defensive line for them.
Yeah, Coney Ealy playing on a fast track, athletic, and just like ridiculous, getting to the quarterback.
Yeah.
It's a big win if he's there at 17 for Dallas. I feel like he could be right in there. That's a realistic pick for me.
Yeah.
All right, Kansas City, 21, trading up to grab Brandon Cooks.
Yeah, this is the assumption here being the Eagles picking at 22. The Chiefs fall in love with Cooks and want to get him ahead of the Eagles.
Yeah.
I think it's a nice trade. They're not going to give up a whole lot to move up just 2 spots.
Right.
And we've talked about Cooks before. Really fantastic talent.
And just the pure speed that Kansas City has built up. Jamal Charles, Donnie Avery.
Yep.
Giving Alex Smith weapons makes sense to me because that defense should be healthy and ridiculous this coming year.
And towards the end of the first round, we got the Niners taking Jason Verrett, quarterback from TCU. Physical, aggressive.
Long-time starter for the Horned Frogs, yeah.
Yeah, the Niners, that's a hole in their defense. They've got some serious cuts. Tremaine Brock's going to be locked in at one corner, but Chris Culliver, we don't know what's going on with him.
Future with his discipline, obviously Terrell Brown and Carlos Rogers gone, so that fits an immediate need. Going defensive back last year with Eric Reed. Niners solidifying there in that division seems important.
Not a terrible mock draft, I feel.
No, I like this
one. That is Mocking the Draft's mock draft for this week. Let us know your thoughts in the comments, please.